In March 2025, BYD shook the EV world with a bold claim, charging your car in just 5 minutes, about as fast as pumping gas. We're talking 250 miles of range, nearly instant. That kind of speed could flip the entire industry on its head. But less than 2 weeks later, BYD dropped another bombshell: $107 billion in annual sales for 2024. That's a 29% jump from the year before and over 9.5% more than Tesla. And get this, BYD sold nearly as many EVs as Tesla globally, and that's only half their total vehicle output. They've now outgrown Nissan, passed up Honda, and even left Ford in the dust. No longer just a cheap EV brand, BYD is becoming a force. And Western automakers? They're sweating. So what's the secret behind that 5-minute charge? Let's dive in. BYD's rise didn't happen overnight. Back in 2018, it sold around 100,000 fully electric vehicles. Fast forward just 6 years, and that number exploded to over 1.7 million. By 2024, BYD officially outproduced Tesla in EVs. Add in its hybrid sales, and BYD now ranks among the 10 biggest automakers in the world. But that's just the surface. This isn't just about selling a lot of cars. It's about how fast the company shifted its entire identity, from low-cost EV builder to a full-blown innovation machine. A few years ago, BYD ditched gas-powered cars completely. From that point on, it poured everything into electric. It developed one of the most efficient lithium iron phosphate battery lines in the world. It slashed production costs so low that some of its EVs became cheaper than their gas-powered rivals. And then it launched a mass-market driver assistance system, giving budget-friendly cars a high-tech edge. But what really sets BYD apart is what insiders call its technology fish pond. With hundreds of thousands of employees, many of them engineers, BYD is constantly experimenting behind the scenes, tinkering, testing, developing. And when the time is right, they pull something groundbreaking out of that pond. The latest catch? A battery system that claims to charge an EV with 250 miles of range in just 5 minutes. If that holds up in real-world use, it's a game changer. Before this, the fastest charging we talked about was 400 kilowatts, maybe 600 kilowatts. Those were already pushing boundaries. Then BYD rolls out specs that sound like they came from another planet, charging at up to 1,000 kilowatts. To put that in perspective, Tesla's Model Y taps out at 250 kilowatts, adding about 169 miles in 15 minutes. BYD's claim? 248 miles in a third of that time. But it's not just about flashy numbers. This announcement marks a serious shift in the EV world. For years, fast charging has been one of the biggest obstacles holding back mass adoption. Waiting 30 minutes or more to recharge? That's still a deal breaker for a lot of people. If BYD cracks the 5-minute code, it tears down that wall. Still, there are catches. Charging speed doesn't rely on just the battery, it's also about the charger itself. In the US, the fastest chargers are 350 kilowatt DC fast chargers. That's only a third of what BYD's system would need to hit its top speed. And only about 22% of chargers in the US can even reach those 350 kilowatt levels. So even if the car is ready, the infrastructure isn't. Plus, the car has to be built to accept that kind of speed. Lucid Air, for example, can charge up to 200 miles in 12 minutes thanks to a 900-volt platform. BYD's upcoming platform? Around 1,000 volts. Hyundai's EVs operate on an 800-volt system and can charge from 10% to 80% in under 20 minutes. But none of them are touching BYD's promised charging rate, on paper at least. Still, battery tech doesn't follow simple math. Just because something supports 4 times the charge doesn't mean it charges 4 times faster. Batteries have limits. They're delicate. When they're close to full and you keep forcing energy in, the structure inside can warp, just like shoving too much laundry into a washer. You do that enough, and things start breaking. And in a battery's case, that can mean overheating, fire risk, or long-term damage. EVs also don't charge at max speed the whole time. Charging follows a curve. It starts slow, speeds up between 10% and 80%, then slows way back down after that. That 20 to 80% range is where you get the most efficient charging. Even then, the battery only stays at its absolute top speed for a short window. Why? because pushing that much energy through a battery heats it up fast. And keeping things cool isn't easy or cheap. It takes advanced cooling systems, often with pricey materials. You can also use higher-end battery chemistry that handles stress better, but again, cost shoots up. And even with all that, data shows that the faster a battery charges, the sooner it starts to drop off from its peak speed. That's where the real-world challenge hits. To fully unlock BYD's tech, charging stations need to support it, and building that infrastructure isn't cheap or fast. In China, BYD is planning to roll out thousands of megawatt-level chargers. That would support their vehicles domestically. But outside of China, there's been way less movement. Without the chargers, the cars won't reach their full potential. Then there's the balancing act. Bigger batteries can handle faster charges better, but they add weight and cost. Stronger cooling systems keep temperatures down, but they also raise production costs. It's a trade-off that every automaker has to deal with. Even so, this isn't just marketing fluff. BYD has a track record. While companies like Tesla are often called out for missing deadlines or hyping features that never arrive, BYD tends to keep things quiet until they're ready to go. Analysts, even skeptical ones, agree. When BYD says they're going to do something, they usually pull it off. Maybe not instantly, but eventually. That's why so many eyes are on them right now. Because if this tech delivers, it's not just another EV upgrade, it's a leap forward. And setting aside the technical challenges, the real question might be, does high-speed charging actually make business sense? Sure, being able to juice up an EV in about the same time it takes to fill a gas tank is a serious flex. It chips away at one of the biggest reasons people hesitate to go electric. But for BYD, whose whole mission has been making EVs affordable and accessible, this latest tech might come at a steep price. No word yet on what their lightning-fast charging will cost. But insiders suggest it won't be cheap. This kind of tech might end up being a luxury add-on, something tailored more for the on-the-go crowd with deeper pockets. It's great if every second counts. But for everyday drivers making grocery runs or chilling at work while the car's plugged in, who really needs that speed? Slower, cheaper charging still gets the job done when time isn't tight. Having ultra-fast chargers in the mix is a solid move. It adds convenience and flexibility, but it's not something everyone will need all the time. And that brings things back to the bigger picture. Because no matter how fast the battery charges, one thing is clear. BYD is pulling ahead. And not just BYD, China's entire EV industry is gaining ground. Fast. China's EV market has turned into a war zone. Tesla kicked things off with major price cuts back in 2023, triggering a domino effect. Since then, automakers have been slashing prices, undercutting each other, and burning through cash. The US and Europe are watching closely. In response, tariffs have started flying. Under Biden, Chinese car imports were hit with a 100% tariff. After that, Trump slapped further 25% tariff on all imported cars and parts. And now he's threatening to double or even quintuple Biden's number, especially if Chinese automakers try to sneak in through Mexico. Europe, meanwhile, bases its tariffs on how much government help each Chinese brand receives. So yeah, the walls are going up. But tariffs might just slow things down. They won't stop what's coming. Western automakers know this. They're scrambling. Some are tearing down Chinese EVs just to study how they're built. Others are taking more unusual routes. Ford's CEO, Jim Farley, straight up daily drives a Xiaomi SU7 and says he loves it. That says a lot. That's all for today. While you are here, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. Thanks for tuning in.